Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps your bank information private when shopping online. Get $5 right now to try the service at plughitzlive.com/privacy. Hello, Internet. I'm Scott with PLUGHITZ Live, part of the Tech Podcast Network. We are here at CES 2019 at the Sands, and I am here in the Sleep Number booth, and yes, I am sitting on a bed. We'll find out about it in just a second, but first, go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
My name is Pete Bills. I'm the Vice President of Sleep Science and Research at Sleep Number. I've been there 24 years.
Wow. It's a long time with the company, and so you head up making sure these things do the thing that we need, right?
We make sure we know more about sleep than anyone else, okay. And then the things that we do learn about sleep, we try to build into our products and help people sleep better naturally.
Okay. And we spoke with you guys 2 years ago, just as you were introducing the new smart beds. Where have we gone since then?
Well, this past year in 2018, we finalized the rollout of 360 smart beds. Now every single bed that you get from Sleep Number is smart.
Okay.
And so all of the features are available to anybody who is interested in a Sleep Number bed. And the two most popular so far with the smart bed are, one is the foot warming. In our app, you can actually set a routine of when you want to go to bed. A half hour before that happens, the foot of the bed gently warms up on either side or both sides, so that when you climb into bed, your feet are nice and warm. And people just love that feeling, but scientifically, from research that we've done, we know that if you gently warm your feet right before you go to bed, you actually fall asleep faster and deeper. Then after a half hour, it shuts off, and you're soundly asleep. And then the second feature then takes over. It's called responsive air. People really like this. When you adjust your position in bed, you go from your back to your side, okay. The sensor in the bed senses that you've changed the pressure in the bed, and it will compensate that quietly and instantly, automatically, without you knowing it, so you maintain that proper comfort, firmness, and support that your Sleep Number setting is giving you. Then when you change positions again, it recognizes that and compensates again. You know, what we've always said is, for 32 years, we've made the most comfortable bed in the world, the Sleep Number bed. But most beds, including ours up until 6 years ago, its main job was just to get out of the way of sleep. Okay. What we're doing now is building in features that automatically, effortlessly assist in your sleep so that you actually get better sleep without you knowing it, because it's sensing and doing things. And that's why the bed is smart.
Well, that's great. As somebody who personally moves around in bed a lot at night, I flip around, the idea that it would maintain that same feel for me no matter what position I'm in is fantastic.
It is, and what we have found though is once you find your Sleep Number setting, that combination of comfort, firmness, and support for you, we find that people toss and turn less to begin with.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice. But then if you do happen to move and it's natural to change positions, then we do something about that too now. So it really is an amazing use of technology.
Now, I know that these beds have all kinds of sensors in them as well to keep track of what you're doing. How does that factor in?
Well, again, sleep's so important, yet most people have no idea what happens when they go to sleep. When we introduced the Sleep IQ technology, which is the operating system for the 360 smart bed, okay. What we've done is built in very sensitive sensors within the pressure, and it detects heart rate, respiration, of course, when you get in, when you get out of bed, sure. Motion all night, and it takes all that information, throws it up into the cloud, and every morning you get a report card.
Okay.
And one of the things that we're going to do this year is really enhance that user experience. Okay. For instance, a lot of wearables and technologies that record things give you a lot of data. You have to figure out what to do with it. What we wanted to do is give it in some more context. So for instance, here's what the new screen is going to look like. Congratulations, you scored higher than your average Sleep IQ score, way to go. So now we're giving rich context across the app right here. So here was your score last night, 75 out of 100, which is really good. Here is your 30-day running average, which is 72, hence you got a congratulations, you did better. Here's your best. Now you got to figure, I got to remember, why did I get a 92 that day? So then you can go look at that and look at your activity log and say, oh, I need to do more of that and less of what I did yesterday. And so I get my heart rate.
I did 4.5 miles of walking at CES.
That's right. That'll knock you out.
Yeah, indeed.
Then you can dig down a little bit deeper as well and get a nice, what we call a histogram of your whole night's sleep, just a continuous graph of when you went to bed, when you fell asleep, when you were nice restfully asleep, when you were a little bit restless, and when you actually got out of bed. And you can see this individual got out of bed twice for 11 minutes during the night. The second time she got out of bed, she had trouble getting back to sleep, a little bit more restlessness. Now, she can look at this in the morning and say, I know why that happened, I'm going to do less of that.
Right.
So,
or maybe the phone rang at that part, and so now you forgot to put the phone on silent, and a text message came in and it woke you up, and that'll always be jarring.
The beauty is you get a lot of this rich data anytime that you want, and you can continue to drill down and get more and more if you're interested. If this is all you really want to look at, you can, but you have so much more at your fingertip.
And it's really easy to look at and understand what it is you're seeing, which is important.
And how to apply it the next night. The other thing that's very important, we talked about this earlier, we firmly believe that sleep isn't just a nighttime activity, it's a 24-hour activity. So what we've built into the new app is a much more robust activity tracker.
Okay.
So we're going to ask people to fill out a profile of what their sleeping preferences and habits are. What time do you normally go to bed? What time do you normally get up? How long do you want to be sleeping each night? Now we're going to take a look at that promise and hold you to it, and if you happen to deviate that from it a lot, you're going to get called out on it. It's going to remind you, hey, it's not a good idea to sleep in and stay up late.
Okay.
Same thing true with your eating habits. What medicines do you take? What's your activity, exercise? When do you, medications. I had this one young lady whose sleep IQ score and heart rate changed dramatically, and she said, what could cause that? So we looked at it. I started this week and these days, and she said, it's when I started taking my seasonal allergy medicine. So right away you can actually see how your daytime activities affect your nighttime sleep. Now that's not to say don't take it, but it might prompt you to ask your physician, can I take it at a different time instead of right before I go to bed? So there are things like that. So having this rich, big data and making it small enough that you can use it is so exciting for us at Sleep Number.
Yeah, that sounds great, because obviously in the last couple of years, for me in particular, I've had a harder time getting to sleep or staying asleep and things like that. And it's almost certainly because of things like this, right? Being in production means you've got weird hours and they shift from time to time and there's time zone changes. And being able to track that and see maybe there are things that I can do that make me fall asleep faster would be great.
It is, and it's all data driven, and what we're trying to do at Sleep Number with the Smart 360 Smart Bed is make it so much easily accessible and usable right away. And so our next software push coming out later on this year is going to be a wonderful improvement for everybody who has one, because like all great Internet of Things, we don't have to send any hardware or anything out. We just push it all to the hundreds of thousands of people who have one.
Great, and it just uses the sensors that are in the existing hardware, and you're good to go.
Good to go.
Awesome. So, do you know what the time frame is on that rollout? Do we have an idea?
Yeah, we're looking for the second quarter of this year, so it'll be the first half of the year. And we do software pushes once a quarter anyway. Now we're going ahead and do a pretty large one here, a big one. Yes, we're excited.
Very cool. I really like the new app. It looks great. I can't wait to see it in action for myself. If people want to find out more about your products, how can they do that?
Well, you can come into one of the 600 stores coast to coast and ask about it, or you can go to sleepnumber.com. We have a very, very, very well-designed and informative website.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
My pleasure. Continue to sleep well.
For continuing CES 2019 coverage, you can stay tuned to plughitzlive.com/CES.